This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Mark Sale, the CEO of First Class Metals. Now Mark, you've been in Canada for a couple of weeks and will be there until mid-June. What's the objective for the trip?
Hi Mark. Well, the objectives for the trip I think really are to assess what's been going on this year in the light of what we did last year. And it's been the stated aim of the company to bring 4 of our properties to drill ready status. So reviewing the work and just seeing how we are progressing towards that objective.
So you started at the Sunbeam historical high-grade gold project. What have you been doing here?
I donated a lot of blood to mosquitoes there, I can assure you. Wow, it was hard work. The boys really put me through my paces. But anyway, Sunbeam property has 3 almost 10-kilometre long sub-parallel lineaments, the Roy, the Pettigrew and the one hosting the old Sunbeam mine. So we spent the time visiting those old developments and walking along parts of the lineaments, the structures, in order to look at new prospects which had been identified both by us and other people historically. So it was an assessment phase really. It is one of the properties we want to bring on to drilling. It's one of the ones that we're looking to get permitted obviously. So it's an important part of the First Class portfolio.
Okay, so lots of prospects and potential at Sunbeam and not just at the main Sunbeam mine. Have you come across any lookalikes to this project elsewhere in your career, and does it compare to any other projects in Canada?
I think as far as lookalikes are concerned, you've got to point your finger at Hammond Reef, just 15 kilometres to the north, which is similar style of mineralisation, though lower grade from all accounts. I think as far as the Sunbeam concerned, other career lookalike, shall we say, it's a typical orogenic, narrow, high-grade gold deposit that you find in the Archean, structurally controlled. So that's the key to understanding it and really to exploiting its potential, is getting to grips with the structure. We know about the geology, or we understand the geology, but it's the structure that's going to really help us on that one.
Okay. Well, moving on to North Hemlo then, what work have you been overseeing here, and what's the focus going to be, the nickel or the gold?
Well, Mark, that's quite easily answered, to be honest. Our partner, JV partner Palladium One, is managing West Pickle Lake project, so they will be deciding what and when. It's out of our hands in that regard, but I am hoping to see some more drill activity there this season. As far as the rest of North Hemlo is concerned, I think at this stage of our understanding, the main play is the Dead Otter Lake Trend, but then there's also the continuation from Dotted Lake onto our property, and that area sits between the Dead Otter and West Pickle Lake. So there's other things ongoing, not just the nickel and not just the gold, because Dotted Lake is a polymetallic occurrence, so you've got base metals, battery metals, as well as precious metals.
So you like the gold moly trend at Dead Otter. How easy would that be to drill, and what size of campaign would you expect in terms of depths, number of holes, etc.?
As far as ease of drilling, pretty straightforward actually. We walked the proposed access trail the other day, and we've already had a driller on site to assess access and drillability from his logistical point of view. Size of campaign, well, I think we have to look at that in 2 stages. What we want to do as a first look and what we can afford to do with available fundings, and what we feel that will go to. Initially, I would be looking at drilling maybe a 100-metre panel at the original Dead Otter historic showing, and then another panel of similar size down at the 19 grammer. And we would be looking at maybe 6+ holes on each one, first row being about 70 metres, and then, if warranted, step backs maybe up to 150 metres. That will be our first look-see.
Okay. Well, also noting the work at Essa, this seems to be less spoken about, but when you actually look at the data and the location so close to Barrick Hemlo, you must also be getting quite interested in this one as well.
I was at Essa recently, and it is exciting. And I think the reason it's less spoken about is because most of the work there has been either remote geophysics or soil sampling, because there's very little outcrop. Though we did see outcrop of the shear the other day, which adds to the encouragement because there were some rusty, possibly sulfitic cross structures on it. So yeah, Essa is it's gaining ground in the portfolio, and it's certainly one of the 4 that we want to bring to drill ready status.
Okay, well, just moving on to Zigzag then, the hard rock lithium project. This was obviously the last acquisition for FCM. What does this bring to the portfolio?
Well, lithium, obviously, Mark, but it also takes us away from the concept that we're pure gold. We're not just pure gold. Gold is our backbone. We have base metals as well, but now we have a standalone hard rock lithium prospect in the portfolio, and that will become one of the 4 main attributes to our portfolio that we want to bring to drill ready status this year.
Okay, well, just wrapping up then, Mark, what can investors expect to see from FCM this year? We've spoken, of course, before about wanting to be drilling on at least one of your properties this year. So which one will it be?
I think the investors can anticipate some very positive progress if what I've seen over the last weeks is a yardstick to be governed by. As far as drilling is concerned, you're quite right. It is our stated aim to drill one of our properties this year. Which one hasn't yet been decided, because that will be which one is drill ready, which one is permitted, and the time of year. For example, Zigzag might be easier drilled when things are frozen for access. So we've taken a lot of samples already this year, and I think the investors can look forward to a steady flow of, I believe, positive news as we go through the season. And I think on a personal level, I've visited 3 of FCM James's big 4s. I've cracked rocks on every one of them, and I remain very enthusiastic and encouraged not only by the geology but the quality of the work that's been conducted by EGS for us on our properties.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time today, Mark Sale, CEO of First Class Metals.
And thank you too, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programmes at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.